Hello folks, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to see how we can use S3 cross-region replication to move encrypted objects from one region to another region. The difficulty here is if you're using encryption using especially the customer managed keys, they are region specific. So if you're doing in Ohio region using a particular key, we will not be able to copy the object to another region and use it because the object is encrypted. On the destination, you will not be able to use it. So you should set up the policy such that you are decrypting it in the source and re-encrypting it on the destination using a specialized custom policy. So if you're going to do that with the GUI, most of the times it is easy because you can go ahead and click and then set the configurations right. But if you're going to do it with a CloudFormation or some other CLI, there is difficulty in setting the policy correctly so that you can go ahead and list the policy, the key IDs and the aliases that are need to use for decryption and encryption. So I have set up this demo to show you how you can do that using an AWS CLI. Let us go ahead and see how we can do that. So I have written this article in a very easy to follow manner. Basically what we are going to do is we are going to set up a source bucket, and I'm going to call my source bucket as source bucket 101. You can go ahead and change the name, and you also need some KMS keys for encryption and decryption, which will be used in your buckets for uploading objects during encryption and when you're transferring them when you need to decrypt and re-encrypt. As of now, my S3 region is clean. There is no bucket called as 101, and likewise in destination there is no bucket, and I already have created the key remover. In Virginia I'm going to use this key, and Ohio is going to be my destination region, and I'm going to use this key. If you have not created it, go ahead and create it. If you don't know how to create it, go ahead and watch the KMS webinar in our channel, which will help you to create the keys. Likewise, I have not created the IAM role that will help you to do the CRR from one region to another region. So all the steps that are necessary to do that are here. Let us go ahead and execute them. First is the source bucket information, followed by the destination bucket information. Now the generic information saying the IAM role, trust policy, the permissions, all the file names that we need. Next, we are going to create the buckets. If you are following this tutorial, you might want to change the bucket name so that you will be able to create it since bucket names are universal. Now let us enable versioning in our bucket. Let me quickly create the destination bucket and enable versioning there. Now that our buckets are created, let us go ahead and check the settings here. So my bucket is created, and if I go to properties, versioning is enabled. Let us go ahead and check the destination bucket, and you can see here this is in Ohio region. And go to properties, we see that versioning is enabled. So if I go to my source bucket and under management, under replication, you can find that there is nothing is configured. So let us go ahead and check that. Before that, we will need the IAM role for configuring replication. We will do that now. And for configuring an IAM role, we will need a trust policy so that S3 can go ahead and access things. And also we need some role permissions. So let us go ahead and do that now. So trust policy file is created. Now the permission policy is created. If I go ahead and see, there are two files in my local directory. One is the role permissions and then the trust policy. Now let us go ahead and create our role itself. So here what we are doing is we are creating the role and storing the ARN into one variable so we can reuse it later. So create the role using the trust policy that was assigned. Now we are assigning the policy that we created for permissions. So let us go to our IAM console here, refresh our screen, and we see there is a policy created and there is an inline policy that was attached here. So if I go here, let me just go ahead and choose edit policy under JSON so it is more readable here. You can see what we have done basically is on the source bucket we have given the permissions to list and replicate, and likewise on the destination region also we have given the list permissions and also see the KMS IDs that we have given here. So likewise we need to decrypt it on the source region. So decryption on the US East 1, that is Virginia, on the source bucket, and this is the ID that is going to be used for decryption. And for encryption on the destination side, this is the destination bucket, and this is the destination region, and this is the key ID. So this is all set up. I'm not going to modify anything here. Close it. Now let us go ahead and set up our replication configuration. So this is the interesting piece of replication configuration. We need to mention whether encrypted objects has to be selected when replication. Yes, we are going to say that. And then on the destination side, which KMS key ID are going to be used, that is also here. So let us go ahead and put this replication configuration into a file, and then we can go ahead and execute it. Now encryption policy is going to get assigned to my bucket now. Let us go to our source bucket and refresh our screen here. And go to replication. All the configurations are set up right. So the best way to test it is, let us go ahead and upload an object and test it out. Let us upload an object here. So while uploading, make sure that you are going to encrypt your object. I'm going to choose the same encryption key here. See that the Virginia key I'm using. If I go to my Virginia region, this is my Virginia key. I'm making sure I'm using the same key. Click on next and upload. Now my upload is completed. Let us go and see the metadata for the properties. You can see here the replication status is successful, and this is the key ID that is there. So if I go to my destination bucket, go to overview, and you can see here there is an object that has been created, and you can see here this is a replica and this is the key. Upload one more object. So let us go ahead and encrypt this object as well. And encryption is completed and upload is completed. Let me go ahead and refresh my screen here, and you can see here we have replicated the object in another region, and the replication side has another key. If we want to be sure, I'm just going to copy this, and this is my destination region, and you can see here it is getting encrypted with this key. So that is how you do cross-region replication of encrypted objects from one region to another region and use different keys also. So in case if you have any difficulty in going ahead and doing this in your account, put them in the comment section. We can learn from each other. Thanks for watching. Happy learning.